Welcome to the Hampshire 1900 start for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 12th of March 1915, which is about, I think about 5 months on from the end of the last part. And since the end of that part, not that much has changed because I haven't really designed anything new. All I've really done is focused on building up this area, these areas here, so that we can get more and more economic independence, so that we can continue to grow our economy. And you can see at the moment I'm making a small but significant profit, mainly because we're not actually building anything. Now in this part, what I want to do is start planning future expansion. And I think because this is very important, especially when you do an early start, because well, you can't just go off and build anything you want anywhere simply because of the short traveling distances. So I want to go into that into a certain amount of depth, because what we do need to do is now start planning those expansions. So that out of the way, I'll just give you a bit more of a detailed update what's going on. I'm slowly pushing out this way with a view to getting another oil pump online, which is out here, and I've run out a substation to about here. So we are kind of pushing out very, very slowly, but this isn't quite the priority that it was now, simply because you can see we are getting a little bit of oil coming in. It's keeping our fuel tank full, and you can see at the moment now, because our lack of kind of consumption, export speed, this is now starting to fill up. So that means that eventually we're probably going to lose some income, and unless of course we put more trucks onto the fuel export, and we will be taking a look at that. As I say, here we're just kind of expanding out this way. We've got the large farm here, which isn't quite so high priority as other areas, but of course what we will do is once we've got this area built up, I need to get that allocated, because we will need to bring in what we call it, crops, keep the whole lot going, because it's going to take a little while to get this farm up and running. So that kind of covers this area. I think what am I building? I think I'm building another fire station down here, because I did get a little bit of a scare. I don't think I've got the actual report now for the earthquake. Whoops, didn't mean that. No, because it actually happened before the so yeah, it wasn't a very big one. It was, I think it was about level 2 or 3, so it kind of gave me a bit of a scare, but not a major scare, which is one of the reasons why I didn't really record the aftermath. I mean, this fire station, wherever you are here, handled it because it kind of struck in this area. But it suddenly occurred to me that if it struck all the way out here, I would have had a bit of a problem. So what I've done is planned another fire station here. Are you actually building this fire station? No, okay, you need that there, and we need to get that as a priority. Now over here, things are going along quite steadily as well. I just want to show you here, we've already consumed all the crops that we harvested. I think they're just coming, these guys are just, and at the moment we're just building out the roads here. Our construction industry is now kind of starting to kind of grow. You can see we are producing some actual gravel now, although at the moment what I'm doing is, oh okay, this is virtually empty now. So right, time to move. I think what we will do is we'll now move you over to here. And oops, what, not that one, this one, sorry. And of course we're not that one. It's a bit tedious, but I don't think these guys need much in the way of gravel, but I think we'll assign them anyway, because there's no point worrying too much about. So you can get there. Just double check that this has got, yeah, it's got. Last one. So that's being built. This is slowly coming together. We do need to put water out here, and I've got a plan for that. But before we consider that, in fact, this would be a good point to start, is the water. Now, because we've got the concrete plant here. Now, I did consider, actually, if we put the dry goods here, but the trouble is these silos are so big. I mean, what am I going to do with 2,000? We've got a smaller one here. So I think to begin with, we're just going to import the whatever we need. Now, what I want to do is consider the here, 400 cubic water tank, holding station, 600 cubic meters of water. Oh, what I do want to do is, what's the water quality? Does it tell me what the water quality is, or doesn't it really care? Doesn't seem to care. All it does is it just says water, which is good, because what I want to do is we're going to put a water supply up here, but let me just see. We're going to get a little bit of height here. So if I can, this is my favorite one. What I want to do is put you up a little bit, not a massive amount, but high enough so that we can get a little bit more pressure going, and you can come back there. And what we're going to do is quite literally just run a large water pipe from here to there. So no, that's the wrong one. Let me just cancel that, because I've got an idea of what I want to do. Water. I want you to come like that, because eventually I might want to put clean water here. And of course what we're going to need is a I'm not going to put a treatment plant in. What we need is an old water tower, and we're going to put a water well here. Now this is going to get affected by pollution, but well, I might be able to improve it a little bit. Maybe we'll just push it out a little bit out this way. So I'll put you there, and I'll just run you into there. And of course this well, this side of the water well, is this modded tower. It's got its own pumping station in. So what we can do is just run up to there like that. What that will mean is that this will run the water up to there, which will run it down into the concrete plants. Now the other thing I want to really start thinking about is I really do need to start thinking about getting rid of this. It's causing pollution. Just to show you, I mean, it's not bad pollution, but at the same time it's also burning fuel. So let me just see what you guys doing. You're not doing a lot. So I think the next thing we're going to work on is the fire station. Actually, what we'll do is we'll start getting the groundworks done up here. So we're going to start work on the groundworks here. Get that incinerator online. I say we will need to work, but I think it will make a difference. One thing I haven't put in here is a substation. I can't see a substation here, so we're gonna, oops, no. I don't want that to draw power from there, so we're to put you over here. And again, what we're going to do is get underground. We're going to use the underground pipes again. Not that. 1.85. Because I'm not 100% sure how much power the... So we're now going to bring this online. And so now I've kind of done this and got this area functional. Obviously, it's going to take time to build this up. Now, the next thing I've got to think about is the overall expansion, which is the main theme of this video. Now, the problem we're going to have is the fact that, and this is a problem that you will encounter with early starts. And by early starts, I'm not just talking about 1900. I'm talking about right up to 1930, 1940, until you start getting the faster vehicles. The range of how far you can go is a bit difficult. Now, what I would ideally like to do is just expand down into the direction of Southampton. Now, the problem we're going to have is that is a long distance. And as we already know about Warstock, that supplying the food down to there is going to be a challenge. But what we have got is food here. So what we need to do is thinking about a road coming down through here. So that instead of our food trucks and alcohol, which is produced here, going all the way out round there, we might be able to get some distance coming in this way, going down in this direction. But the first thing we're going to need to do is develop this road here. And to that end, what I want to do is create because we've got a road bridge there. What I want to do, what I'm going to effectively going to do is recreate something which actually exists in the real life, whereas there's a major motorway that comes down from the north of Southampton, and then it comes down into Southampton. But there's also it's called the M27, which runs this way towards Swanwick and Fareham, and then it kind of runs this way across the north of Southampton, and then it crosses over and then heads out into the New Forest. So that's what I want to recreate first. But I don't really want to crowd Southampton. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of burn a hole here. Yeah, I know the loyalty's too low. So we're going to kind of come in like that. Create a fairly large roundabout here. In real life there isn't a roundabout here. It's the boatway kind of does one of these split things with a kind of flyover over the center, but I think that's probably a little bit too ambitious for this game. Well, this point in the game is probably the best way to say it. And we're going to bring you down there. Okay, let me just see if can I get rid of that node there. Yeah, get rid of that node. Okay, let me just get rid of you. See if we can get a better connection. Actually, what I will do is that's horrible. I think were actually do something like that. We'll actually create the highway. This is super long distance planning. Creating a highway like this, and then what we'll do is, again, we'll just remove this here, bring the road in, just get rid of that. We'll leave that, oops, no, leave it at that for the moment, but eventually we will take a highway off here and then cut across this way to connect up with that, and then we will push out a road that way, but we don't really need to do that just at the moment. So we've now got a road link there. The next potential problem is that if we're going to put a road there, we may need to put a motorway interchange here. That could be interesting. I think my instinct would be to possibly come out here and bring the road through down into here. Actually, I think we can come back to that, because our first step is going to be to build out these, but the problem we're going to have here is going to be the actual here, this process here, so we can't push our luck too far. Anyway, so this is going to be our kind of production area here. I am going to demolish that because I want that space. Just remove you. So we don't need that aggregate store anymore. And as I say, we're building that out. We are making a fairly steady little profit here. Now, expansion in this area, I mean, the one way we can expand is to go this way, but I don't really want to go this way for two reasons. One, we've got this road here, and this is a fairly constrained space. And the other reason is that we've got our wood cutting post here. And if I show you the actual, that if we build out into here. Now there's also part of me that says put another farm out here, but we might come back to that. Right, we've now got fire trucks, and what I'm going to do is come in here. You're level 4. You're not particularly that good, are you? You're level 9. What we're going to do is get 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're just going to get all 4 of those. Burn the cash on that. What was the actual top speed of this? Yeah, 43 kilometers an hour. So that also means that we've got to start thinking about actually doing some snow clearance here. Also, we might need to upgrade this here. Yeah, we got reasonable coverage there. Now, of course, in winter the speed will be halved, but of course half of 43 is 20, so it still makes things a little bit better. Now, what I want now, so back to what I was meant to be talking about, which is expansion. What is causing this? Why are you're right next to the, that's the police station. I think that's too high. We're going to reduce you a bit, and we'll actually get a few more workers in here. And maybe it's time to see what we got in the way of police vehicles. We got a Stanley steamer here. Again, this might make 70 kilometers an hour. Russo bolts, but we got a Stanley steamer 757. The Russo bolt would be really nice, but I think we'll just get a Stanley steamer in there. Because one thing I want to do now is move all the vehicles we're going to use in this area, because we've got access to free fuel. I want to slowly phase out all the horse-drawn vehicles in this area so that we move towards a vehicle-based economy where over in Eastleigh we're going to stay with the wagons because we can't have fuel. Of course, the next big step would be towards using trains, which is the good segue into what we're going to be doing here, which is going to be our line of expansion. Let's go back to this. You must, yeah, 25%. I think we may have to bite the bullet. Well, no, we'll keep going with there. So what I want is we're going to come through to here, and then what we need is a coal mine. I think the coal is out here. Let me just see where the coal. Okay, we got coal there, and I thought there was, oh, there's two coal mines, one there, one there. Right, let's just draw a line roughly from. I think what we'll probably do is reclaim a lot of this area here. So what we're thinking is we're going to put our next new town in here. So what I'll do is I'll just draw a provisional crop kind of grid section here. Although technically grid section, no, we won't do that just yet. Which now brings in the inclination towards the fact that we may need to bring this power station online. Let's just see how much power these guys are drawing. Yeah, you're 13% at the moment, but this might need a little bit extra power. I think what I'd like to do is I need to kind of, before I can kind of plan the town, which I don't really want to plan the town too much in this part, but what we are going to do is reconstruction office, shove you out here, and of course we're going to put a free gas station out here, and what we're going to do is, who's the guys who just, that's spelt wrong. Waste removal. That's my fuel distribution office. There it is there. We'll just get some fuel out here. And that means I can, what I want to do is recover as much of this area so that we can plan our actual coal industry here first. Because obviously what we would need to do is we've got to put in the coal. At least the coal processing plants are not anything bad. So, and of course what we're going to need to do is possibly ship some stuff around, because of course what I'll most likely do is plan both coal mines, but only build one. Oops. Put you there. Build you. a little bit of an extra node there, which I don't want. So keep pushing this gravel road out this way. How are you doing out here? But more importantly, what I want to build is out here. Okay, so we've now got this built. We need this built. Okay, just set that. We need a power supply out here. We've gotten all about that. Let me just see. We're gonna need a high tension cable. We got one there. So what I'm gonna do is we got the farm there. So what we'll do is we'll put this about here. Again, we've got a fire station. We've got no fire station here. I am going to put another fire station out here. I think fire station. I know it looks like I'm going very overboard with the fire stations, but to be honest, this level point in the game, your level of actual fire, the actual level of fire protection, is especially in winter, like here, that we got a fire station here, but even with the faster trucks, that still exposes this area, and we need to protect this area. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is going to go underground. We've only got 5 megawatts, but that's good, or sufficient. And what I'm going to do is can I get you there, get you there, and whoops, no. Build that, build that. What's that there? Why have I got unfinished plumbing? And don't really need that there at the moment. Okay, 22%. That's really low. That means we've got very low productivity here as well. Oh no, 80%. We can live with that. We got any over 21s? Not yet. But I think what we will do is now get these guys working on one of these. Actually, you're working on both of them. I mean, we're down to 15,000, but I have spent a small fortune on vehicles, and of course what we're going to need to do is work on gravel roads. I think we can set up this. Again, there's not much point doing anything at the moment until we've got actually that's an extra junction. If I can trim you back there and put you in there, and we'll keep building out the road infrastructure to get out to here. If we go back over to here, just a quick look, and then I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room, which I've been skirting round for a little while. Okay, Have you guys got any road construction here? This has all been finished now. We've got fuel in there. We've got that built. Now what I want to do is start building down this way, but I don't really want to build massive big time. What we're going to do is start with, say, about distance like that. Yeah, that's 103 tons of gravel. What I don't want to do at the moment is kind of take all that gravel away, but I want to be able to start pushing down this way and building down this highway with gravel, and then eventually I will I think what I will do is, we got this road here. Let me just see. We're playing with mud roads. Right. We are going to cross the river here. This is sufficiently important that we probably need to cross this with a road bridge, and anyone coming down here will, so we're probably going to come across like that. I think I need to think about the junction here. Now we could build a, so we got it, no, I mean, if we got the construction industry here, they can come down this road. There's no, but we do need to connect in this road. I think we'll probably put a kind of motorway junction coming in from this side, but I won't do it in this video. And then what we can do then is build through here with these, trying to get this into here. And then we can kind of connect up the highway to here, and then that will make that connection there, and then we don't have to really push out anything in any other direction. Then of course later on we can then expand this farm once we've got better farming machinery. Well, actually, have we got anything here? No, it's all fire extinguished. Okay, so we had a fire there. What have we got here? Jade Apartments. Let's get the, where's these guys? You can work on that Jade Apartment. I mean, we've got a population of 6,600 now, which is good. Right, now the elephant in the room, and this is going to be quite a big decision. Simply, we're running out of money again. That is whether to develop down here. Now, my inclination is to develop this area, but it's going to involve a little bit of work, including a bridge over here. In fact, I'm going to do the bridge while I'm thinking about it, so that I don't actually make a mistake. So we're going to have to come here. I'm not sure if I can get over this at an angle, because I don't want this crossing here. In fact, what I'm going to need to do, I don't know, that's we got trains coming in here. I think what I'm going to do is plan, actually, how far out is this? This is 100 and on. Okay, so we can put you there, except that. The reason I'm marking that is that if we develop this as a rail link, we're going to need to have a double track here eventually. So if I build a planned road bridge over here, I need to make sure that the track can get underneath the bridge. At the same time, I don't want to come in really close, because we may, then again, would I run long? No, I think we're going to err on the side of caution here. And what I'm going to do is just trim this back. Get you down like that. We can move the road, it's not a problem. Trim you back. Like that, except that. So if we decide to expand out this way, our challenge has got to be is to build this road connection first, then develop out here. Now, the reason I'm interested in this area is that we've got coal down here, and we've got oil over there. So this has the potential to be a economic powerhouse. We also, there's a possibility that we could chuck in a little bit of tourism here as well. Also, the ground is pretty, we've got a big area here which is pretty flat, so we could put a farm in here. We've also got this area here where we could level it off and put a farm in here. So this area here has got a lot of potential with respect to long-term economic development, and I emphasize the word long-term. Also, because it's on the coast here, we've got potential port connections across there, but also we've also got the potential of getting into the Isle of Wight relatively early. So, but I don't think we're going to do anything now, because I don't feel my economy is strong enough to kind of absorb that type of income and pressure at the moment. So what we're going to do is just kind of keep this area chugging over at the moment, because we are going to need quite a lot of food to feed this town. We're going to need to be a little bit more self-sufficient. Also, I've just realized that that is I don't really want to do this, but, or I wasn't planning on doing this, but I think we're hook you there and kind of make something like that. Because if we got to bring food output from here, the food, alcohol and clothes, actually, come to think of it, that needs to be supplied, and our clothes industry is here for what it's worth. I think we will probably eventually put a farm out here to supply our clothing industry. Probably you need to put it out about here, and then maybe we can expand out across the map there. We've got now got fuel here. I don't really want to buy, not really got any what we call it here. I think we need to build up a little bit more cash, so I think I've already pulled the excavators back from up here, haven't I? Where are they? Yeah, we just got the oil refinery out here at the moment, although this is filling in fairly nicely. And we're going to skip back to here. I think these guys now have finished. There's probably no crops in here, so what I need to do is put these back to unload in preparation for the harvest. Let me just see what we're doing here. Wait, one thing. Let me just see if do we have any battery connections here? No, I've blocked them all off accidentally. I was considering the possibility of how can you put it? I'm burning some wood out here, but I think what we'll do is I think we're oh, wow. Has that been going? How long has that been going on for? So we've got vaccine research now. And you can see now our only research is decreased birth. Now that means now one thing I've never been 100% sure is how long that vaccine protection lasts. So I'm just going to write down the date for the month. So that's June 1915. And then what I'll do is I'll see when this actually returns back to vaccine protection, because increasing, decreasing the birth rate lasts about 6 months. But hopefully the vaccine protection will be a bit longer. Part of me says that we can get that underway. I think we can get you. I think if we build in, oops, thank you game, from that direction, we can get this built, which means we can get some logs going. I mean, I could get, if we get a lot of logs here, we could always put a small sawmill in here, and we could create a little bit of space here to store the lumber in, which is what we're producing over here. Although we don't really need that much of that anyway. So these guys have picked up these bridges. Yeah. Wait, I don't want these bridges built just yet, please. Suspend them for the moment. That was long-term planning. So, but I do want this here. I think that I'm running out of things to say on this video, because obviously we need to build up our incinerator here, build up this. So I think what I'm going to do just to finish off, oops, is we need a bit of flat area ground here. I think I will do the motorway junction, which we've got to put about here. So we're going to come in from this side, and I think I can build this by hand. Actually, we'll start down about here, because this will come in here. It's been a little while since I've built one of these. Get rid of that. And what I want to do is get you over there. Now the question of one thing I've never done is I've never built this with a, where's the one-way road? I think I can do it with gravel roads, but we're going to put in a section of asphalt here, because it is, I mean, it's meant to work with an asphalt road anyway. We need to put F12. Is it F4? Yeah. Probably come back a bit further. That it's not fully on the ground. Okay. Remove you. Just do this again. push you right to the ground there, like that. Oops. Move you, put the asphalt road back in. Have to correct that. Didn't mean to do that. That can come there. That can come there. That will just extend this asphalt road that way. This could be a lot tidier. And what you get is that road there. And then what we'll do is just as experiment. That will come there. And then what we'll do is we'll strike a road off here. And you can come into there. That means traffic coming up here, because a right-hand drive can come to there. And then traffic coming from here. Because technically anything coming this way that will want to go that way would come off about there. Come across like that. And it will connect up there. Just going to, I don't know. So what that means is that traffic coming from here that wants to go up there for some reason can come across here, across that link road, go that way. Traffic coming up here that wants to go into here can come across to that way. In fact, I'll just, I mean, this is all going to be modern roads, so we might as well build the modern road to begin with. And then traffic coming through here that wants to go that way can come down there, and traffic coming down here that wants to go back up there, although I've got absolutely no idea why someone would want to do that, and pick up there, go round there, come over the bridge and back this way. So what we've got now is a kind of a horrible junction here. It could be a lot better, but I mean, I do want this gap here. I think we'll go with that. I mean, it's not bad for a first attempt. And what that means is we'll have an actual modern road connection coming through here, which will be pretty important in the once we get up towards 1950, 1960, because obviously we're going to bring goods in and out of here, plus we're preserving the rail track here as well. Eventually add extra trucks in here so there's more going there, because these guys aren't as busy as they should be. So we could double up the number of these trucks on this route, which will then kind of get it. The only downside is when these wear out. Where are you going? Oh, mixed waste. Okay. Oh, wow. I forgot all about waste. What are you guys producing? You've got a tiny amount of biological. I'll take all the biological that I can get at the moment. So what we will do is just put you there. It's not urgent. Right, you're going to produce a, whoops. You're producing biological, but you may not actually do it. That's the gravel store. You're the gravel processing. You can produce a tiny amount of biological as well. Okay, what we'll do is we'll put another garbage store right opposite that there. Again, these don't have to be built straight away. They're not really key essentials. And of course, what we might do, we've got the right, we'll put another one here. Take you off the main road, so we can put you about there. And of course, I don't know what we'd get out of a bitumen plant. Is there any footpaths here? You've got a footpath there. So if I bring that round like that, and say we put you there. If I put in, can I get... Yeah, if we put you about there, that will cover the woodcutter and the what we call it as well there. So anyway, I think I've now got to the point. Let's just have a look here. This needs to be built. This needs to be built. This will take in mixed waste. We need to build that. We've got a lot of things to still build. And again, we've kind of... Where are you going? Well, I suppose you could build that. No, I don't want you building that. Suspend. 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 I don't want you building any of that just at the moment. That was just me doing a little bit of long-term planning. What we're going to need to do is... The reason I'm putting this in is that this idiot will go all the way down the bottom there. And I need him to turn round. I don't want him... Otherwise what would happen is he would have gone all the way down to there, wasting time. Causing wear and tear as well. As I say, I don't... I mean, it's not going to cost us anything, but at the same time, I don't really want this actually... Is there... Yeah, I'd rather them be gravelling in... we're on the 20th of June here. If I come out there and go to there, we're going to build gravel roads. Oops, I don't want a panel road, I want a gravel road. Rather you build that so that we can build down here. In fact, I think what I will do is we'll double down on this road here. And we'll just build this out here. Like that. Oh, one thing I do want is, what are you? Okay, I'm just gonna follow this guy. This is going to be the last thing I'm going to do in the video, but what I want to do is improve this here. Actually, let me just see. Oh, I've got a bus in here, which I'm going to need. Covered hole workshop. Covered hole, please. Capacity. This is 4 tons. This is... Let me just... Oops. This is 3 tons. Let me just come here. Oops, can't buy it here, can we? We should be able to buy it from here, though. Oh, I've cut off the connection to the customs house. Ugh. Okay, so much for that idea. I'm just going to have to stick with this for a moment. Yeah, I've forgotten completely that we've now got no link to the customs shed. What I was doing, just to explain what I might be able to do, is if I come across to here, I think what we've now got available is if I come to covered holes. Okay. Oh, that only carries 2.3 tons, so that's even worse. Okay. Right, let's just get back to Eastleigh. Maybe I can salvage this. Back to covered holes. Short bike capacity. That's 11 tons. That's 7 tons of crops. That's 3 tons. No, that's about the best we've got, isn't it? 3 tons. I don't really want to get... Okay, so we're just going to have to stick with what we've got. I was hoping to make this a little bit more efficient, but obviously it's not that useful. How are we doing here? We're getting plenty of crops coming in. Right, one final check over here. I think we might need a construction industry, but we do need this. Okay, we've now got this area here, but we don't really have a lot of money. I think I'm going to hold off. We do need this built, give protection. So we can build that. We also need power out here. Let me just check. What's this here? Right, we need the underground cable built. That needs to be built. And of course what we're going to need here is I thought I'd put the power terminal in, but obviously not. Yep. Okay, so we're going to put in I want the maximum coverage, so we'll put you about there. Traffic jam. Okay, I'm just going to pause on that because the traffic jam, it's probably at the border, but I need to make sure that nothing's broken down or like that. Okay, we're just going to double up. Actually, I'm not going to double up this one. We'll keep this at normal level. If it gets overloaded, we can always add it there. Right, let's find this traffic jam. Oh, I've had this before. This is another reason why I want to get rid of these. Every so often what happens is that the wagon coming in here gets stuck and it blocks off everything else. So what I need to do is just kind of cover that off there. That's why checking for traffic jams is quite important, simply because if you don't do it you get a major failure, and a major failure can be quite a little bit of a pain in the neck if it does happen. Right, so we're going to bring in this together. What I will do is kind of build those as well. So we're just going to have to let the game just rock and roll a little bit and sort out this area here. We don't need the water at the moment. I'd rather get this area going because at the very least, if we start making some bitumen, we can start to make a little bit of cash by just selling the bitumen in the short term. Anyway, guys, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.